I maintain this is extremely stupid. So, I'm sure I'm not the first person to have done this, but I decided it was a good idea to start collecting data on all the individual combinations of personalities that you can have in Tomodachi Life. And this is just the first 64. And it's coming along, as you can see. Just so you understand what it is that I'm doing, I have, so this is movement, speech, let me tell you. So, numbered 1 through 8, so from not very to extremely, or sorry, not at all to extremely, we have movement speed, speech, expressiveness, attitude, and overall. And then this is the result that I got. So for instance, having everything all the way to the left makes them a lone wolf. So we have personality type, the class of personality, personality group, so they're independent, and then the color, just to help keep things a little bit more organized. As you can see, I already went through the first 64 and a bit. I got all the way up to here before I decided it was a good idea to start streaming this. And here we are. So I have no idea how long this stream is gonna go. I'm not finishing it tonight, I can tell you that for frickin' sure. But I'm going to go through as many of these tonight as I possibly can. And just see what the results we get are. Let me pull this up on the side. This is also, by the way, just the day before my birthday. So, shut up. If you were curious as to the significance of today, that is the significance of today. It is just the day before my birthday, so I'm about to turn 21. Alright, so where were we? Alright, so first things first, we go there. A new data point. We got ourselves a thinker here. Whoops. I'm going to predict it right now. Once I get to movement speed 8, all the way down here, this will be a Brainiac. Because these have been the same as my first set of 64 that I did. At least so far they have been. This also, just based on the way that I'm doing this kind of like, I'm imagining it kind of the way that like binary works-ish. So like how binary, or like, yeah, how binary works. So, yeah, Brainiac here. So, basically what I'm imagining is that it's like, so we have up here, this top left one, we go on, off, and then that then contributes to the next one. It's a weird way. Technically, I'm doing this all on base 8 because of the number of things that I have here. So base 8 notation. Anyway, next one. Like that. So we got ourselves Lone Wolf. Again, so far these have been the same results. This was a mistake. So, thinkers here. The good thing about this is that once I finish collecting the data, I can tell people exactly how many different ways you can get each personality type. I can't wait to get through all of this and for all the personalities to have the same number. Oops. Thinker. Oi. Meow. Thinker again. And 2 Brainiacs after that. That's the pattern that I've been on this whole time. Yep. And the one after that will be Brainiac again. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, that one. Okay. Yep. Increase the speech marker. It's another lone wolf. And there is a pattern to how these are moving. These move in sets of 4 at a time, but I was expecting more by me increasing the expressiveness by 1. Rather than it just being the exact same results. I guess what I can figure out from this is like if it truly is, if it truly is like you get 4 at a time, or if there are somewhere it's not like that. Because I don't honestly know. There's only one way to find out, and that's to keep going. Let me just make sure I'm on the right one. Should be 4-4, yep. 5-4. It's a great time signature, and more people should use it. I'm expecting Brainiacs next. Yep. Seven 4 is also great. I'm going to be doing this for a long time. It's only just now setting in how long I'm going to be doing this for. Gotta do like a distribution chart of how all these are gonna, gonna work. That's probably something that I can get out of this. So 5, yep. Should start with a thinker. Yep. I'm expecting 4 and 4 on Thinker Brainiac here. Oh, we switched to Brainiac here. So are we gonna go get Go-Getter on the end? I imagine that's what we're gonna get. So Brainiac again, obviously. Also, just as a note, if you happen to be watching this VOD back, I don't have a 3DS capture card. So that's why we're looking at it like this. This took a very long time to set up, and it was very annoying. Alright. It's either Go-Getter? I'm hoping it's Go-Getter. Yeah, it's Go-Getter. Okay. So what I'm getting out of this is that these move in groups of 4 with occasional jumps. Okay, more thinkers. Another thinker here. Obviously. Switching to Brainiac right here. The thing is, I do have to be careful that I actually do this correctly, because if I screw it up, I have to go through an entire segment again. When we end here. Okay, so we should be switching to Go-Getter after this. Okay, easy. Perfect. Put that in so quickly that it was before it actually told me. Okay. I'm really hoping I get some different results than I got on the first one, because the very first time I did this, I got very much the exact same results. So Thinker again. It's going to be one of Thinker, then the rest Brainiac and Go-Getter. Yep. So the next one, in theory, should be Go-Getter. We're going to get, oops, even wash Go-Getter Brainiac on the end. I would love it if it skipped one. I want something interesting to happen during this, because this is going to be a lot of tedious work. Okay. Alright, next one is 8 on speech. Okay, we start with Brainiac, obviously. I feel bad for this me, because I keep on changing his personality over and over and over again. Third one should also be Brainiac, which it is. Okay, so we're getting 4 Go-Getters after that. I'm not going to preemptively fill. We'll see if it's actually true. Whoops. Last one for this set. Okay, I want to check something on the side here. Personality chart. I just want to see the actual blocks of them. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Oh yeah, and also we know that that one's like that. This guy goes up to the front. personality chart. So, softy, e.g. I need to pull up this guy. Why are you zooming in over there too? That's mean. Okay. Can I... Okay. Sort of... Not that much yellow. It's more like that. Okay, so then... Got... Optimist... EG. More colors. This one's got a lot more red in it, so more sort of like that. Got buddy EG, and I'll have the this thing up over here. We got sort of a bright yellow. Like a yellow with a little bit more white in it. And some orange. Like that. That seems about right. So Dreamer. EG. And a slightly deeper yellow, more like that. Okay. Oh, I see how they did it. Yeah. Okay. So, trendsetter. Outgoing. Yeah, just straight up fucking pink. A little bit more red in it. Sort of a fuchsia color, that's what it is. And adventure. OG. And I got just a straight up red. And Charmer. OG. This one's sort of orange with a little bit more yellow in it. And this one's just, okay. It's not quite that color. I think it's closer to that. Nah, actually, we'll stick with that. And then, leader, OG. And then we go just straight up orange. Like that. And then free spirit. IN. Sort of a pale green. More like that actually. It's a little bit darker, but it's sort of like that. Oh, I think I know how this has been progressing, actually. Interesting. Then, artist. IN. That's a little bit more gray, actually. Sort of like... Don't want to take out too much green from it. Okay, so it's probably like about there, then it's just darker. Okay, whatever. Base it off of this. I don't think that's the color. It needs to be closer to green. There we go. And this one needs to be more just straight up actual green with a tiny bit of gray in it. It needs to be brighter than that. Like that. There's barely any noticeable difference between those colors. Okay, and then I can copy the ones that I have from here. We'll copy the Brainiac to there, and the Go-Getter to there. Get rid of the border. Okay, and my last ones are Designer. Oh wait, no. That one is Entertainer. Yeah, there we go. Sort of light blue. Yeah. It's more like that. There we go. And then this one's sort of like a light lilac. I guess lilac is just light purple, so like that. There we go. So then last one is Adventurer. So yeah, now I can just copy them straight from there. Should be good. Alright, where were we? Right, I gotta make a new version of the chart. $29 to 256, I believe. 192, sorry. That'll be if I add another 128 to it. That's what it is. I know my 64 times tables, obviously. Hey. I have to do this for every single one of these. There we go. Alright, now I need to clear out all of the, those guys. Oi. Ooh. RSI really kicking in here. It's just the last ones that I have to do. There we go. Okay. Next set of 64. Start with Lone Wolf. I'm really hoping we see some different results this time round. Even if they're just slightly different, I will much prefer this over the last 128. Come on, give me Thinker one early. One earlier. That would be great if you did that. Damn it. Really? Is it really not that different? It's not what I was expecting. Well, we're gonna get Thinker here, I'm sure. Yeah, wow, interesting. Am I gonna get the exact same chart again? Does the game know what I'm trying to do? I also love the fact that it's like 11 p.m. and this me is definitely just like, please, I want to go to sleep. Can you stop doing this to me? I want sleep, please. I just want to have one interesting thing happen during this. Because if any of these shift like one earlier than in the previous ones, I will be amazed. Nothing new so far. Unsurprising. We're gonna get Go-Getter at the end. Or is it Go-Getter? No, Brainiac. Brainiac's at the end. Oh. Another Thinker. What else is new? All right, one more. Creates Brainiac. Just do something interesting, please. And I'm gonna zoom in on the personality chart. There we go. Start with Lone Wolf. Part of this as well is that I'm just curious to know how many different, like, possible combinations of the personality chart you can get. I'm gonna check the last one really quick. Yeah. This should be Lone Wolf. It is Lone Wolf. Good. Good, good, good. We got another Thinker. Great. And another Thinker. And then another Thinker. then 2 Brainiacs in a row. Look at these shifting groups of 4 at a time. Wahoo! Then it should just be 1 lone wolf and then 3 thinkers. 1 lone wolf, 4 thinkers, rather. Yep. And then 3 brainiacs after that. Unsurprising. And then 3 brainiacs in a row. Yep. I'm sensing a pattern here, Tomodachi Life. Then we get 4 thinkers, or maybe 3 thinkers, and then we start to switch to the other thing. Go-getter on this one. I'm going to predict 3 thinkers. Woo. That's the 3rd one. The next one is going to be a Brainiac. That's my prediction. If I'm wrong, I will be so excited. Wow. It's almost like I've done this for the last, hour. Even before the stream started. A Brainiac? Yeah, I'm sensing patterns. Oops, didn't mean to boldface that. And then we get Go-Getter. I'm getting the distinct impression that somebody's already done this, but I'm going to keep going because I want it for my own information. Thinker. Another thinker. Oh, maybe that's why. Oh, yeah, someone has already done this. Okay, cool. I understand now. So I'm going to see the exact same ones for every single... Yeah, okay. I'm disappointed now. I have spoiled the results. I shouldn't have... I'm going to close this chart. So, I understand. Okay. Yeah, someone has already done this. Oh, well. Nothing compares to raw data. So, if I'm to understand correctly, the next one will be the same. Yeah, because I'm getting the sense of the patterns here. Next one being the next set of 64, by the way. So what I'll have for the next one is 1 thinker, 4 brainiacs, and 3 go-getters. In fact, I can test it by just doing this one, but adding 1 to the speech. So we put that there. So this should be a go-getter. Yep. That means you. So here's what we're going to do then. Because they move in groups of 4, I can fill this out faster by doing this. And then the next ones should be a set of... okay, we'll test this just to be absolutely sure. So if that's go-getter, then it means that we got... Okay. So we got 4 go-getters and then 4 brainiacs. Cool. Got it. I understand now. So that means I can simplify this for myself, though. I can make this much easier. So I'm basing off of that chart that I just seen. So we'll copy all that. 193 to 256. Whoops. Yeah, so I know how I can do all these results. This isn't going to be as long as I thought it was. Just because I've now realized that I was wasting my time. Oops. What happened up here? Oh, interesting. So, outside border. There we go. So we shall add 1 to all of these. Wait, that's in the wrong place. I must have missed that one from last time. Oh, all of those are in the wrong place. So all these should be at 4. So that means you guys are wrong. I just skipped a layer. That's okay. We got it. So now, theoretically, all these personalities should be the same. So we'll test this one. Got 4 and 4 and then like that. If this is any different, okay. So then we can test this one. See if that's a Brainiac. That is in fact a Brainiac. So that, yeah. And I can test this one and that one. Yeah, I know how I can do this. Well, that's a Brainiac, and then this one should say Go-Getter, which means the next ones will be different. There you go. All right. Cool. 256. We'll make 3. Wow, interesting. Okay, so 320. We should start seeing some different personality types on this one, though. So I think, okay, I think I know how this is gonna work. I have my predictions in mind here. So what we're gonna do, take this guy, add one. I said add one, bitch. Whoops. It's actually kind of clever the way they did this, if this is going to work the way I think it is. So theoretically, this first one should be a free spirit. Free spirit in? Yes! Okay, so that's... Okay. Then that means... this one should be... an artist. Yes, okay, so that is how it works. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's test this one. So this should be another outgoing one. It should be the designer. Or a confident one, sorry. Designer. Sick. Okay, let's finish filling in all the artists. I don't think this green is bright enough. It just needs to be more clearly different. Okay. And then we can grab designer. Replace all the brainiacs with designers. Wait. Like that. And then the go-getters should become adventurers. Yep. Okay. And that means the next 4 should be the same. There should be an adventurer as well. Yep. Okay. Sick. So I can take all of this. 321, 2, 384. It's actually fascinating the way that they handle this. I was expecting more of like a bell curve into it, but I guess I shouldn't expect that out of a game that is Tomodachi Life. Cool. So that's that one. Ooh, getting low on bets there, mate. Please reach. Good. You do, in fact, reach. No. Come back. Where is it? That side. Great. Okay. So, now, let's make sure that it's formatted correctly. Okay. Okay, then. It's different. I think I'm worried too much about the formatting here. Okay. Fuck. Wait, I can condense these. Oh my god, even better news. I've actually fucked this up. So I can condense these down into one personality type each. Or into one page each. Okay. That's not right. 84, you idiot. Okay. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take everything in this. Move it over to here really quick. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna have this pulled up here, and then I want to pull up another one on the side. Whoops. So. we'll take just one of these, move it over to there. So then the first 4 create lone wolves. Okay, let me swap these over so you can see kind of what I'm doing. So then, the first 4 create lone wolves, provided that all these are all the way down. Okay. Oh wait, no. I know how I can do this. So okay. Wait, no, I'm doing this backwards. Make them all green. Make them all green. Okay. Hey, let me freaking think about this. So. This one's on its own. That one's on its own. Now I need to know. Yeah, because it's not a linear curve, so it's gonna be like this. Yeah, so let me make sure I got my logic right. So out to here requires the next one be a 1. That's what that means. Oh, fucking balls. Okay. Okay. Let me create a logic path in my brain for this. So this one only works provided that this one is at 1. That's the first thing that we know. Set these all to neutral. So this one only works provided that the first one's at 1. I should make a lone wolf. Yep. The second I add another one to that, this makes a thinker. Yep. So then, with that in mind, I should make the exact, yeah, because the first 4 are exactly the same regardless. Like the first 4 on expressiveness are exactly the same. So suppose the question then becomes, what happens if I set the this thing to 5? Well, actually, let's try it at 4. Still a lone wolf. Okay, so what happens when I set the attitude to 5? You get a free spirit. What happens if I do that and also set the this thing to 5. At that point, you get a buddy. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how exactly this is working. Then I set this back down. It should be a free spirit again? No, it's still a buddy. Okay. Okay. I need that chart again. The other one that I was using here actually was kind of helpful. How does overall affect this? Overall doesn't do anything by the looks of it. Interesting. Okay. So this means... Oh, okay, I see how this is working. Okay. I understand now. So the way that this is working is that... So these two count as one thing. So as you move these up, you... Yeah, so as you move as you move movement and speech up, you move laterally left and right. So, well, to the right. And then expressiveness and attitude moves upwards. So that's why that was happening, and these are additive. So, in order to do this, then, the way I need to think about it is based on this. So, oops, hang on, save. I want to delete this one. So, yeah, there is a pattern to this. So the second you get... So, okay. That requires this be at 1. So yeah, these are adding. We got 4 and 1. Creates lone wolves. And 3 and 2. 2 and 1. We go like that. So this requires that. This requires that. So if I go like that, then I create something higher. I create a thinker. And then after that, if I move that down, or if I move it like that, that should make lone wolf. Okay. Okay, so that means it actually looks like this. If I set all of these to 4, what do we get? We get an artist. Okay. So what happens if I set all of them to 3? Or actually, if I go like that, this might create a lone wolf. All right, I'm learning how to game it. Okay. So does overall affect it now? No. No, it doesn't. Okay. Cool. Cool. Good to know. Okay. So I imagine then in that case, the opposite is true here. Whoops. Move you over like that. Say you two. It's good. And then gray you guys out. So this is for, I'm going to assume that this is me going for easygoing softy. Easygoing softy, okay. Grab my personality chart over here. And I can clear this. Actually, I'll just fully delete the row. And do that. There we go. Because we now know that the overall doesn't matter. Sorry, give me just a sec. There we go. All right, cool. So that's for easygoing softy. So then, how does this work? So yeah, so the expressiveness and attitude need to stay all the way dimed. Actually, so if I set this like this, should still be a softie, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Good to know. It's actually pretty cool. So let's see. So okay, so that means like that. So that's how you get an optimist. So I'm going to assume that this is actually now like this. So if I move that up much further, still get an optimist. Still get an optimist. At what point do we switch from getting an optimist? Right there, we get a trendsetter. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So what does that mean? So how do I write this out? Okay. Let me just actually clear all these. So if I put it down to here, we get softy. put it up to there, then suddenly I start getting optimists. Okay. Okay, how the fuck do I notate this? Okay. So that means nothing there. Or check on that. But relies on it being at least 4 by the looks of it. Yeah, it relies on being at least 4. Okay. So if I set this all the way up here, what do I get? Trendsetter. What happens if I take 1 off from that then? Okay. So 2. So these 2 can be interchanged. If you put on 3 requires this one be at least 2 or 1. Requires to be no higher than 1. Okay. So 1 means can be higher. Green means can be higher. Yellow means has to be lower. Red means must not be higher than the lowest. All right, so. Okay, so. Interesting. I don't know how to plot this. So. If I do that, we get Softy? Optimist, rather? That's what I mean? That is what I meant. So the second I put it here, theoretically, another Optimist. Okay. And if I move it to here, this should create a trendsetter, right? No, interesting. Okay. Okay, here's how I'm going to do this. So we know that when it's here, when I add 1 to that, okay. I don't fucking know how to plot this. Okay. I might have overdone this completely. Or I might have just done this wrong. Yeah, because the way that the chart I'm looking at, this is the chart I'm looking at. And it plots it. Oh, fucking hell. It plots it. Let me turn off the camera here. It plots it based off of, like, a point scoring system, like this. So all the way down is 0 up to 7. And then, like, these add up together. So actually, I wonder if that means, okay. Let me try and give it a point scoring system myself. So these are both worth 0. So. Okay. Let's see. So 3. This should be a different personality, right? Yeah, it creates Buddy. Okay. So that means I can have 3 and 0. So 10. 10 there. 3. And then, oh, 5 and 6 makes 11. So 14. Well, that doesn't make sense, because if I do like that equals 14, and that creates a different personality. Yeah, that creates Go-Getter. Interesting. Is this what data scientists have to deal with? Whoops. Max on that can be 3. Max on this one can be 14. For a total of 17. Okay, I know what I should do. Hang on. So let's go no border. I want left and right. SP min can be 0. EX ET min can be 11 by the looks of it. Whoops, not all borders, you idiot. Outside. There we go. So for this one, we can have 14 and 11. Okay. Now let's create a point scoring system based on this. I have my point scoring system working. Sort of. See, here's my problem, is I don't know how to do this for the parts in the middle. So, we know that creates them. Okay, so what I'm just going to do, I'm going to take another color. We're going to go with a deep blue here. It's going to mark the ones that I know work. Okay, we'll color code them based on their, like, patterns with each other. I can't do that, actually. So we know that that also creates optimists. Okay. The fun thing is, though, that once I know what this one in the middle is, I can invert it for the next one, for Trendsetter. Okay. So let's see here. I wonder if it's literally just this, but moved along. Oh, wait, no, it can't be. That's right. I already established that. Maybe it's more like that instead. So if I were to go there, that creates optimists. If I add 1 to that, we get trendsetters. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Interesting. Okay. So the min, though, has to be... The minimum has to be 5. And the maximum is 6 by the looks of it. Let's see if I go 4 and 2. 4 and 2 should create another optimist. Yes, okay. So maximum is 6. Maybe it's 7, actually. No, it's not. Okay. So that means it looks more like that. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I cannot have 4 and 3 coexisting, but I can have it be like this. And I definitely can't have that. It has to be like that, or vice versa. So these, it cannot be like this. It can be like that, though. Okay. Then in theory, that should mean that this and this creates a trendsetter. Okay, actually, what if I do that? That also creates an optimist. Okay. So that's on 5. If I go like that, this should create a trendsetter? No, it's still an optimist. Does that mean it might be like that, actually? So if I add 1 to it, what do we get? A trendsetter. Okay. Awesome. That is fantastic news. That means if I go like this, we get a trendsetter. So this should be this color, like that. That is our distribution. 6 and 0, 5 and 1, 4 and 2, and yes, and then 3 and 2 makes our minimum of 5. Or 3 and 1 actually can make us, or no, I guess my minimum, well, okay, let's see here. If I go, okay, but that doesn't work though. So if I go 3 and 1, I get a softie, right? Yeah. Ooh, you tricky bastard. Because here's the thing: these operate the same way. So I need more colors, is what I need. Okay. So these colors work for this one where it's just a distribution of 4. They don't work for this one where it's a distribution of 7. So that means, okay. Make these two. Requires 0. Requires 1. Okay, so it requires 0. 0 or 1. Okay, so then requires 0. Zero or 1. Yeah, we'll go 0 or 1. Okay, in that case, requires 0. 0 or 1. Let me change these. Let me actually give these guys no fill. So, requires 0. 0 or 1. And then can be interchanged. Requires 0, 0 or 1. So we got requires 0. This should create an optimist. Yep. See, I'm learning something. It's now my birthday. This should work with that, but it shouldn't work with 2. That should create a trendsetter. No, interesting. Okay. Whoops. Those guys normal. Put it all the way out there for a second. Okay. I should just do this as my point scoring that I wanted to do. So this one should create a trendsetter. This also creates a trendsetter, right? No, that's an optimist. So that's a 0 or 1 right here. And that means hopefully this one should be red. Requires a 0. Yes, okay, so that one requires a 0. Okay. 0 or 1, 0, 1 or 2. Let's make it a more bright yellow. Or 2. Like that. Okay. And that means this shouldn't create one. Oh, it does. Okay. 0, 1, 2, or 3. Interesting. This one's sort of a bright green. One, comma, 2, comma, 3. And then at this point, the swap happens. At which point, if I were to do these the other way around, what? Did I not change one of them? This created an optimist. Do I actually need to do all of the data collection? Because that then creates a trendsetter. So that must be a 0, 1, or 2. Yeah, it's a 0, 1, or 2, so that means it should be this guy. Oh, interesting. Okay. That creates a trendsetter. Okay. Cool. Okay, I understand. So it's more like, whoops, like that. I dropped my stylus on the ground. Then that one cannot have. So if I do that, that should create a trendsetter, right? Yes. Okay. So then that means the next one is 0. Yes. But if I add 1 to that, this should create another trendsetter. Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I want to make sure that the rest of this stuff is working. Okay. Does this create an optimist? Yes. Okay. So I'm assuming these function independently of each other. So if I were to swap those, still an optimist. Okay. Cool, cool. So that green is 0, 1, 2, or 3. So then okay, so if I were to go like, so this requires 0, 1, or 2, right? Yeah, but if I add 1 to that, it should create a trendsetter. Yes. Okay. I'm starting to get an image of what this is supposed to look like. Apparently I've dropped 500 frames. Great. Okay. Does doing this change it? Whoops. Throw my stylus onto the thing really quick. Okay. Cool. So what does green mean? So then this thing. So that requires 1 or 2, 1, 2, or 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, sorry, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. After that, we're swapping places, and it's weird. Doesn't, so that requires, yes, okay. Refer to other colors. Refer to other colors. Okay. So now all right, let's see here. So then we got trendsetters. Green. Oh, god damn it. Trendsetter. Here we go. So I'm assuming in order to do trendsetters, this is supposed to be backwards. So it's probably going to be more like... Let's see. So that's like that. This creates a trendsetter. Okay, interesting. That throws a wrench in things. What happens if I set these all to 4? Just curious. Get a charmer. And that's on the next one down. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what if it's instead like that? Creates an optimist. Yes, so that means, okay. Let me just clear these. Clear these all back to white. So this one, that one can't be used. Means that if I were to then do that, we get a trendsetter. But, theoretically, if I do that, this changes things. Yes, okay, cool. Oh, but then my color chart doesn't work. Well, okay, so I need to fix my color chart, but I know what it means. We're gonna do this as be different. Create a dreamer. Okay. And lastly is entertainer. And this will require the inverse of the one over here. Whoops, no. Neutral, neutral, bad, bad. Neutral there. Okay, that's what it looks like. this will then do for Buddy. So this should be that. So in order to do Buddy, we'll do it like that, and then theoretically this should not work. So create a different thing. Create a Dreamer. Or a Free Spirit, that works too. Then if I were to swap them, it creates a different thing. A Buddy. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, of course. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. But then the very second that I drop this by one, got a Free Spirit. Okay, sick. Alright, let me figure out these scores now. So our minimum on this was 3, right? Okay, so this is extremely complicated. I don't feel like dealing with this, so let's delete that, delete that. Clearing those contents, delete, delete, and do that. Go like that. Whoops. So then in theory, what should happen if I do this? No. Yeah. So that one can't be used, and then that one can't be used. Yeah. So this is right. I should create a different personality type. That creates a designer. But then if I swap them, we should get a dreamer. Yes, okay. Sick. This will create a charmer. Which means that I cannot have them alternating like this. Whoops, like that. Otherwise we get an artist. But if I swap them around, we'll get a charmer. Blap, 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 blap. Sick. And then the last one. Leader. Which then means swap those round like that. Gets us an adventurer. Then we swap these and we get a leader. Perfect. All right. So then we get into the independent ones. Artist. Adventurer. Sick. Whoops, that needs to be swapped. Thanks for noticing that, Brain. Much appreciated. Alright. Then we go like that. I don't know why I copied it from all the way up there. Whoops, that one. I just want to copy the color. Like that. And like that. Perfect. There we go. Things first, fully enclose that. Sure these guys are all fully enclosed. I kind of like this music just going on forever in the background while I'm trying to figure this out. I've been going for almost 2 hours at this point. I've learned so much about one of my favorite 3DS games. There you go. Okay. So this is the end of it. What do you have to say?
People tell me my eyes are as bright as the stars. I'm not making this up.
Cool. Thanks, brother. Well, there's still some me's that are up right now. Well, he gets to be removed from the island. He didn't need to be here in the first place. What? Oh, it's my birthday. That's right. Hello. There's 2 of me. Wahoo!
Happy birthday, my little.
Hey, it's your birthday too, brother.
Here's a present from all of us.
Ah, it's so fun.
Always get emotional at times like this. Here's to another year.
You just got here.
I love birthday parties so much.
Shut up. Alright, save really quick. Anyway, well, that's the personality chart. Just in case you were curious about how the personality chart works, I still don't know. Hey, we're gonna get rid of test. Sorry, brother. He was just my guinea pig to make sure that everything worked. Okay. Clearly I need to talk to somebody who's better at this kind of data analysis stuff than me. Because, wow. I don't think that this chart, like, colors-wise makes sense. Let's do some quirky questions before we're done.
It's time for some quirky questions.
Who loves me?
Who loves me?
Yeah, a few people. Interesting.
Now for the next question.
Whose mother resembles me?
Whose mother resembles me?
No.
And finally, your last question.
Who often gets mistaken for me?
Who often gets mistaken for me?
There you go. Cool.
See you next time.
Awesome. Anyway, I have a friend who will probably be able to help me go through this and make sure that I do things in a way that makes logical sense. Was this worth it? No. Of course it wasn't. Why would it have been? I literally sold me doing this on the basis of why the hell am I doing this? I wasn't expecting to get a 2-hour stream out of doing this. There you go. So now I have a general graph of what the personality type chart looks like. The one that's over here makes way more sense. It's like if you do it as it's not a consistent point scoring system though. Like that's the reason why it's weird. So I'm gonna have to talk to one of my friends who's kind of better at understanding this stuff. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this, because this wasn't worth it. It was just kind of me sitting and talking to myself while no one watched, as is usually the case. Anyway, if you watch this VOD, thanks for watching it. Yeah, you just watched me do bullshit data analysis for a long time. Yeah, so thank you guys. And, oh, really? Frick off. Okay, well, I'll see ya. Have a night.